Hello and welcome to another edition of Perils of the War. I'm your host Roman, and to my right,
I'm the other guy, John.
you fucking suck the energy out of everything, don't you? Anyways, we have a special
Is
guest.
that why my mom left?
Yeah, probably, because you're a fucking asshole. We have a special guest. Introduce yourself, sir.
I'm drinking a Coke.
Do you have peanuts in it?
I got all the peanuts for it.
I got urine in it.
Yeah.
All right, this podcast has already gone off the rails, and we're not even that far in. We're not even a minute.
See, that's what happens.
It's
John,
true.
John sucked it out, and I'm drinking Coke
With urine.
with pee-pee.
Pee-pee in my Coke.
Sounds good.
You're fucking gross. That's why no one likes you. That's why your mom left. All right. Gotta get back into the real shit.
Yeah,
We're here to talk about Warhammer.
the Warhammer podcast.
Everything about Warhammer. And I guess we'll talk about, first things first, what has everybody done for their hobby progress? Has anybody done anything?
Special guest first.
Okay, me first.
Yeah, there you go.
I've been working heavily on my custodies. I'm pretty much almost done with my troops. I got to a point where I was at almost 1750, and I just got a message that my dog destroyed some of my bikers. As I was getting drinks for the crew, my girlfriend was like, "Hey, the dog got out, and
You know those toys you love so much?
yeah, you little gay, he destroyed one of your bikers." She sent me pictures. They looked like they were smashed, not bit, but that's besides the point. But yeah, hobby progress. I've just been working custodies. I've been doing some AdMech stuff because I still want to play AdMech, and I got like a 5-man squad down.
Yeah.
With 2 snipers. Trying to at least get that rusty 17 done at least. But I keep forcing myself to go back to custodies because that would be the easiest thing to get out to at least 2,000 points.
It's true. It doesn't take much for those bastards to come in at a high cost.
I was talking to Roman earlier today because we met Trent when we went to go play a game earlier.
Yeah,
That's a little spoiler.
Trent.
Hi, Trent.
He probably doesn't listen.
Yeah, he'd stopped listening. He wasn't even listening to us then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just had it on mute, giving us watches.
I'm down with that.
I was telling him like how much I like when I paint Marines. Like I really want to do Imperial Fist and Crimson Fist, but I'm just so lazy because I don't do the shoulder pads or the backpacks. And I was like, Custodies is the best because all you got to do is the shoulder pads, and I still neglect to do the shoulder pads. So I have a good majority of the army. The troops are almost done. Like a few of them just need like one more shoulder pads for like 3 of them, and I'll actually have a whole troop choice done.
Nice.
I had some fast attacks, emphasis on had. And then I was working on some Terminators, and the big boy project is the Telemon Dreadnought.
Okay. Nice.
And I need to get some magnets for that, and I'll prime that up and paint it up and store it up even extra high so the dog doesn't get to that.
Yep.
Grimdark just refilled their entire magnet stock. In case you needed magnets.
Ooh, you mean Heroes Retreat?
Whatever.
Yeah, heroes retreat.
It's Grimdark.
But yeah, I think I'll check them out because I do need them. Apparently, like in the Dreadnought, you don't have to drill it out. It's already like perfectly fitted. You just fucking put the magnet in, maybe like fill it in with green stuff, and just swap them out. Apparently, it's really easy to put. So that's my next biggest project. I'm trying to at least get this up to pass 2,000 points, maybe a little bit more. I want to go more Terminator heavy than say jet bikes. Jet bikes are cool and everything, but I think I like the foot soldiers a little more. So that's what I've been doing.
I don't know. I've gone back and forth because, of course, I love jet bikes and bikes in general, even though I fucking detest them in real life. Because
the jet bikes are real big.
Yeah, well, bikes in general. I just don't like bikes in real life. For a short time I did, like when I was in middle school, and it was fucking.
You wanted a crotch rocket.
No, what was it? The OCC.
Oh, the
the
orange.
Orange
Choppers.
County Choppers.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
A Sportster. I grew up in a Sportster.
I don't know what that was. That was a bad accent. But yeah, I don't know. I do also love just like the foot sloggy kind of thing.
You like cavalry, so bikes are the next thing.
Yeah.
To the future of
Yeah.
cavalry, basically.
They're modern cavalry.
There you go.
But yeah, I also have a soft spot. I just like all of it. I mean, I like all the little fucking foot sloggy kind of shit too.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel you. What about you, John? What you got for hot
I
rockers?
actually did a lot recently.
Big dick over here.
Yeah.
Ooh, with a big painting dick.
I primed the majority of my Thousand Suns and started throwing on the red on them. I primed a decent amount of my Iron Warriors, and with them I just primed them with the Lead Belcher primer, so all I gotta do is start throwing some shades on there. So, but like today I built...
It looked like some kind of walker.
that was a couple of days ago. Yeah, I got my Leviathan done. I got my Osiren Dreadnought for 30k, Thousand
Chunky
Suns
boy.
done. Everything I'm talking about right now is for 30k.
Okay.
So I got 2 Dreadnoughts done for... No, 1 Dreadnought done for Thousand Suns. The Leviathan was for Iron Warriors. I repurposed my 40k snipers for Thousand Suns because Thousand Suns have special sniper guys that come in flak armor anyways. And they have their own special spell for 2 warp charge, which is rolling 2 4-ups for those of you who don't know. You can reroll all your failed hits and misses.
To shoot magic missiles.
Yeah, shoot magic missiles. I got one of my Sekhmet Terminator Cabals done, and I got my 10-man unit of Kanadi Blades done. And I built a few special characters for my Iron Warriors. 2 characters that I kit bashed that I'm really proud of. And Perils was primed now properly because I primed him the first time with black and he fuzzed. So I had to drop him in some LA
I
Awesome.
remember that.
Yeah.
That was when you were doing your Horus, right?
Yeah.
And then you just dusted Perturabo.
Yep.
You got so dusty.
But the LA Awesome cleaned him off perfectly. It didn't even mess with the model itself. It just took off the paint.
That works? Because
Yeah.
I was wondering, since recast or the resin, I wasn't too sure if I should just dump in simple green or anything. Or if
LA
that would
Awesome.
fuck-
LA
fuck
Awesome's
up.
the way to go, man.
Okay.
Truly, for anybody listening. LA Awesome. Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Anything that says dollar in the title, they have LA Awesome in it. And it's a fucking $1.
Yeah, you can get like a small, just regular bottle for $1, and then I think for like $3,
You get the heavy
you
duty.
get the huge, the gallon type one, which
Okay.
I just buy that one just because I fucking go through it so much. But yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. I didn't know, like, with different other materials, instead of the hard plastic, like, it would just fucking tear through it. Like,
Yeah, you might want to check it. I don't know how long he did, but I know like check it like after a few hours.
How long did you put it in for?
It was like 2.5 days.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Roman had even warned me. He was like, "Hey, don't leave it in there too long because the resin could get messed up." I was like, "Oh fuck, it's already been over a day."
Classic John.
Oh shit! He was holding up the TV.
But no, it worked out. It worked out great. From Anthony Grover, I was able to get a Shadow Sword, which Perturabo can take as his dedicated transport.
Fuck you.
And
What word?
Yeah, it's like a special, it's a special transport during the heresy.
What?
He actually rides around in what is it, Shadow
Shadow
Sword?
Sword. Yeah, it's called the Tormentor.
Yeah, and he just travels around with his robot bodyguard because he doesn't trust anybody.
Yeah, his little bitch.
Fucking untrusty,
Nobody.
trustworthy shit.
And I built up a Firestorm Redoubt for
Man.
my militia.
Firestorm Redoubt.
Yeah, it's the building with the 2 guns on top.
Gotcha. Yeah, it has the quad cannons on it.
It can use either las cannons, battle cannons, or Punisher Gatling cannons.
There you go. Sounds cool.
So I did actually get a lot done, including some
Yeah.
priming and painting, which isn't always something I say.
No, not at all.
And and I entered my little shit. What is it called? It's a tree witch into the
Branch witch?
branch witch. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, branch witch. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Tree. What's another word for tree? I don't know. What
Tree.
What?
Tree
bark.
bitch.
It's a bark witch.
So close.
So for Mike Blanton's Age of Sigmar League that's going on right now,
Yep.
you can enter one model for the painting competition. So I'm going with the branch witch.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, that's everything I've done.
All right. I have done some stuff, not as much as I would like to. Again, I finished about another 25 of the Gene Stealer cults. So I was finishing up those. So getting ever closer to finishing that. Which even Mike was saying, like, take your time with it. Like the customer hasn't been around. He's just he's dealing with life, whatever that is, whatever he does for work and all that. So go ahead and take your time. And I was like, all right, cool. I still have my hard and fast date of the end of this month, so we'll see how close I get to that. I also have been working on some Heresy stuff, but Heresy has kind of been placed on the back burner, not so much for any specific reason, just kind of put on the back burner. Oh, it's a very specific reason. I lied. Mike Blanton's league, I still haven't joined, so I have to go up there and sign up. Or
Mike Blanton's league.
Node.
What is that for people who don't know?
Mike Blanton's league is an AOS league that is using the rules from the new General's Handbook 2019, and it's the meeting engagements, which is a different way to play. Back when they actually had different ways to play AOS at different point systems, and they would have different rules. They somehow got away with that, and people just started playing Match Play 2000, and that was kind of just the standard. Like, they really didn't have anything. So they didn't have anything for smaller games, so they started doing that.
So they're going back to that?
Yeah, and it has basically 3 different types of detachments that there's certain requirements for it, but meeting engagements, they have 3 different types of, I guess detachments is a way to say it. They have different requirements, so my guess is to go ahead and check it out yourself. If you are listening, and most likely you're in San Antonio, because you're not more than a few friends that listen to this, go ahead and go to Heroes Retreat, as it's now called, or Grimdark, if you are stubborn. Go over there, sign up. You might want to ask Mike Blanton if he's there, just to see if you're still eligible to sign up. And yeah, you can also paint. There's a painting competition. Go ahead and put in your one unit or is it model or unit?
I don't know what the requirements are.
I believe it's a model. So just one model. You go ahead and paint it up to the highest standard, and then they'll judge it later on.
One of the funny things, because I was hanging out with Mike Blanton today. He was saying that meeting engagements was supposed to make it so that nobody could really have like an asshole list.
Yeah.
But turns out somebody already found a way to broke it. Someone in the group. He's playing goblins, and he has a shaman, and he can pull his a unit away and deep strike them 9 inches away from another enemy unit. So he was playing a couple of shamans with a couple of badass close combat units. So on one turn he would deep strike, kill a unit, and then on the next turn deep strike, kill a unit, and then or not even the next turn. I think just like all at the same time.
In one turn.
Yeah, in one turn he would just deep strike this unit to kill that unit, deep strike this unit to kill that unit, and Mike Blanton told him, "Don't be surprised if you can't find anybody else to play with you."
I mean, he's not wrong. For sure, that's kind of a dick thing. Because, like, even I was looking at my list. Because I'm playing Seraphon. I was like, okay, it's 1,000 points. I got 1,000 points of Seraphon. Like, that's not even a deal. Love my old Lizardmen. Let's fucking get them painted up. So, I was looking at the list. It turns out you can have a behemoth. Like, in any one of those lists, you can have one behemoth.
Yeah.
I can fit a Dreadsaurus in there. It's 420 points. Now, it's not great, but the fact that it's about 17 wounds in a 1,000-point game is gonna be hard to take down. So I was like, I'm not doing that because it just seems like a dick. Even though I've heard the Dreadsaurus isn't great, like just in general, it's not that big of a threat. It just takes up a lot of board room.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it, and that's the way it's gonna be a dick in 1,000 points because in meeting engagements, the board is pretty much cut in half.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has a specialty size, but most people just play it like on a 4x4.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the fact that it's like a 210 oval base, which by the way, you cannot get through GW. They only special make that when you order a Dreadsaurian or the Corn Chaos Dragon. That's like $600. And that's the only way that you'll get that base.
I've actually seen people put him on Dreadnought bases,
Mm-hmm.
like one under each foot.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people do tend to play him. Like especially like with the like the Warhound Titans too,
Mhm.
like in 40K and that sometimes they'll just put that just so it, like it's sitting on something. But yeah, there is, if you look on eBay, you can put in Dreadsaurus base or whatever, and there's a guy that 3D prints one for you. It's the exact specs that you need. I think it's like $10. So it's like cool. I'll do that eventually for the Dreadsaurian.
You could probably get Jeff Garza, who hangs out with Mike
I
Blanton.
could probably do that.
Yeah, he's
I gotta get the
3D.
specifics of it. Though, yeah.
Yeah, he was showing me today. He 3D prints movement trays
Mm-hmm.
that are barely bigger than the bases of all your guys put together, so it's almost indiscernible. And then your pieces snap into it, so they're not falling all over the place.
Nice. Sure, you can put some cheap little magnets at the bottom and
Yeah.
then just fucking click.
Oh,
click,
and then
click.
he also made some specifically for kill teams.
Mhm.
Has a little slot so you can put like what specialist your guy is.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That is really really cool. So hit up Jay Garza.
Yeah.
And hit him up for some 3D prints, whatever you need. But as for my painting, I started painting up my Seraphon. Painting is a loose word because what I did was I've been doing like a zenithal highlight, which is what I usually do, where you have like basically your highest highlight coming in from a 90-degree angle on top of the model.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that with an airbrush. But the other thing that I've been doing is I've been doing dry brushing. I've been dry brushing like pure white on them. So I've been grayscaling them, dry brushing so that it pops out all the little detail, especially since they have all the little scales and shit like that. And then what I do is I'll just make my own glaze with the glaze medium basically, and whatever paint I want. I'm leaning towards turquoise because I fucking love turquoise. So I'm leaning towards that and just making a glaze and just painting them up. And it should be a pretty high quality with very little actual paint, more just like the pre-work of it. So I'm trying to do that so I can make sure. The problem is I don't know what I want to enter for the painting because my birthday. By the time you listen to this, my birthday is already passed. So I got a Bastillodon because of John. So brand new Bastillodon. He's fucking equal parts awesome and cute. So I don't know if I want to enter in him or if I want to enter in my Troglodon. Troglodon's the dino that spits acid
spit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I don't know if it was for Christmas or your birthday last year, but I got you the fat dude under the throne too.
Yeah. I've also done him up, so I just have to dry brush him and then I'm gonna paint him up real good. So I have 1,000 points already set up without the Dreadsaurian. I have 1,000 points, so I'm just trying to get those all prepped so I can make sure that I can slap on some paint and get some games in.
Yeah, I told Mike too, because he was telling me about this, and I was like, damn, dude, like I hope my list isn't an asshole list, like because I took an ancient, a big ass tree folk that's also a wizard.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, as long as you don't take a Spirit of Dearthu, he'll be fine. I'm like, all right.
Spirit of Dearthu is an asshole, and especially now that I think as of this recording, the Sylvaneth book is out. So
yeah, because it comes out tomorrow for us.
Yeah, for us.
It's been out a few days for you guys.
Yeah, fucking nerds, living in the past, or we're living in the, I don't know, whatever. However, time travel works. But I've been doing that, and I've been what else? trying to figure out if there was anything else besides pretty much the I think Seraphon have actually taken up a majority of my hobby. Oh, for the game that we'll be talking about in just a bit, I finally did up my Belial with Thunderhammer Storm Shield. So I kit bashed him, just like some plastic parts on some fine cast on him. So I was able to do that. I honestly had a lot of fun kit bashing, so much so that I'm thinking about kit bashing a whole bunch of other stuff. So
Kit bashing is very, very fun.
yeah, because kit bashing is something that I never really did before. I was kind of just like, whatever. I'll just play with whatever it is. But now I'm starting to see like the cool little payoffs with kit bashing. So much so that I'm kind of like, well, should I try some green stuff? Should I start doing some actual conversions and start doing this shit? So I don't know. We'll see. One step at a time. But that's it for hobby progress, I believe. We're going to games played. Now I haven't had games played, and that's a lie. I actually played 40K today against our guest.
I'm drinking a Coke.
I'm drinking a Coke. No, I'm not drinking a Coke, but it's a real who's on first situation. But the thing is, we played my Dark Angels against his Custodes. We had a 1750, so it was, it brought me back to 7th edition where you're like, fuck, I gotta make it just right. And then eventually I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take what I want to take. Things that I would never be able to take in a more competitive kind of thing, or playing with someone else that I know is going to be a little more competitive in that way. So I'm just going to go over my list real quick. My list... Come on, Battlescribe. Why you dicking me like this?
It's acting up today.
Yeah, it's been fucking up. But I had Belial with Thunderhammer Storm Shield. I had Samael, of course, on Corvus. That means his jet bike. I had a Scout Squad with Camel Cloak, Sniper Rifles. And then I had, not one, count them, 2 tactical squads. That's right, baby. I'm bringing back the Tech Marine, the TAC Marine. So these are just the Dark Vengeance version. So Plasma Cannon, Plasma Gun. Sergeant has a Plasma Pistol and Chainsword. So you go ahead and you get 10 of those bad boys, and you're in like sin. So I have 2 of those. I have 5-man Deathwing Knights. Because, come on. You gotta love the Knights. You gotta love those big-ass maces. I had a Venerable Dreadnought with a close combat with a Stormbolter and a heavy Plasma Cannon. Just because I thought I'd lean into the Plasma angle of Dark Angels. Because, as you'll notice, there's no Hellblasters. They didn't have any Primaris in this. I wanted to do straight up
inner circle kind of guys.
Inner circle. You guys you're not in the gang.
Get out of here, booty. With it. You can't make with a Dark Angel.
Science. So I had a 6-man Black Knight squad, so that was one of my heavy hitters. I was like, gotta bring in some plasma bikes because I love them.
That was fun.
And then a Storm Raven gunship. That's right, people. Big ass motherfucker. 2 Hurricane Bolters, missile launchers, the Stork Strike missile launcher, 2 heavy, the twin heavy plasma cannon, because of course I gotta go plasma, and then the Typhoon missile launcher for some DACA. And last but not least, one of the most inefficient point sinks known to man. 2 drop pods.
I thought you were about to say Land Raider.
Oh fuck!
That's close.
I can't fucking fit land. They're like 300 or 2.
Too much.
Yeah, I think they're 200 points base no matter what. You gotta add the guns.
I've danced with that idea for the Custodes because I have a Land Raider. But even I stopped and I was like, "The fuck am I gonna paint up this Land Raider just to put like 5 Custodes in there?" I was like, no.
The most you can do is what is the Crusader?
I don't think Custodes have access to anything except Alaska anymore.
That's right. They only have the venerable, the in quotes venerable Land Raider,
that's the only we get. And there's the Forge World Beta Roll one.
The
Cornus Grav. It's
Something.
one.
Grav,
No.
tank.
The Grav tank's the other one. There's another dedicated transport.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, but right now I want to say it's like the Corvius Grav tank is the better one.
Okay.
But that's just a tank. It's not a dedicated transport.
Okay.
I want to say that's the one you got, and that's the one I'm trying to grab from you.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what you got. All right, buddy. We'll see what else you got, because I know you sold off some stuff, but we'll see what you got.
I got rid of a lot of stuff.
We'll see. We'll see. We can maybe work out a deal. A mouth deal.
That's fine. As long as my girlfriend's not listening, that's fine. Trust me, she's not. She was barely into the whole like, hey, I'm gonna play the game tonight. She's like, okay, whatever. Oh man, your dog boot messed up your figures. Oh, guess you don't have to play any more games, right?
Do you think, is there a spot in your mind that's saying the dog didn't do this at all? That it was her? Because it was smashed.
I don't know. I was just kidding. The dog tore it up for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna blame it on the dog.
That's right.
On the off chance she does listen, he's blaming it on the dog.
No, I know it's
happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, I know it was the fucking dog. So, not saying I'm gonna beat the dog, but I'm gonna beat the dog. Hope they didn't catch that.
Yeah, hope the mics didn't catch that, because they're running hot. But yeah.
How many points was all that altogether?
It was 1746.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mine's came at 1747.
Ooh, all right.
Clearly, you had the advantage.
Yeah.
I had the point advantage.
And at the end, he had the advantage. I'll tell you.
So, what I took was I had a battalion and a vanguard detachment. For the battalion, I had my two HQs were Shield Captain with Castellan Axe.
Mm-hmm.
The second HQ was the Dawn Eagle jet bike steel Shield Captain with Hurricane Bolter.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has those little Mesricordias.
Yeah.
Because I had the points to give it to everybody. My troops were 3 Guardian or 3 Custodes each with Guardian Spears.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take shield and swords, but I don't have shields and swords painted up. I only have one.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of like the Guardian Spears because it throws out more shots.
Yeah.
And it's better in melee. And then I brought the Dawn Eagle jet bikes, 3 of them, to ride with the Shield Captain on the Dawn Eagle jet bike.
Mm-hmm.
And he was my warlord with Eagle Eye that gave him a 3 up invulnerable. And I could re-roll my charge with the Eagle's Eye. And then for his Warlord trait, he had a Superior Creation.
Mm.
That gave him the 5 up, Feel No Pain.
Gotcha.
So that was the big guy for the one. And for the Vanguard, I had Trajan Valoris, which John knows. John knows about him. And then I took 2...
Fucking Overwatch.
Yeah. You'll be surprised. He did not put in his weight on this one.
Mm-mm.
He was out. Let's see. And then I brought in two 3-man squads of wardens, all with Castellan axes, and a banner holder that gave the -1 to hit, well, also with a Castellan axe. And everyone had their little pokey sticks with them, which surprisingly, I got 1 hit. I fucking shanked a dreadnought on the side.
He busted up one of my hoses like, bitch. That was my kidney hose.
She used the fucking tip of the knife, all Mexican style, to unscrew some screws.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was my list.
Mm-hmm.
And that came out to 1747.
Mm-hmm.
Originally without, because I was trying to figure out if I didn't give everyone the little pokey sticks, I was trying to fit one more jet bike in there.
Yeah.
But that comes up to like 2 points over 50. So I was like, son of a bitch. That's the thing about Custodes. Like,
it's every point counts.
I was trying to cut so many corners. I was like, what happens if I give this guy the Guardian Spear? If I give the Shield Captain a Guardian Spear? It's like, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. But that was my group.
Yeah, and all we did was just Dawn of War deployment, and we just did a little... what is the...
Kill points?
Is it kill points? Well, the thing. I always want to call it Purge the Alien.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what it was in 7th edition. I don't know if that changed in 8th edition. But yeah, just kill points, just unit per unit. And then, secondaries, you know them, you love them. So, first turn, I was able to deploy first. I was able to go first with the roll-off. I rolled a 5 and then +1, so I had a 6. So I was like, all right, it's going to be that game.
Oh boy, I was getting 6s all day.
I was pulling 6s out of my ass. I have no idea why.
Just giving shrugs to everything.
Yeah, I was just shrugging. Like my venerable shrugged off a surprising amount of fucking wounds. But first turn, I was able to lay down some pipe everywhere. I basically I poured everything in my shooting phase into his standard bearer. What are they called? Ancients? I don't know what they're called.
They're called
Vexilla
Praetors.
There you go, Vexilla Praetors. So an ancient, a chapter ancient, and any other thing, a banner. I was like, I don't like he has a -1. That's all I knew about him. I didn't know about any fucking shenaniganery. Later on, I just wanted to shoot him, and I brought him down to 1. I brought him down to 1, and we're gonna revisit what killed him.
Your bikes threw everything at him.
Yeah, my bikes were like, the only thing I didn't do was overcharge because I knew I would overheat
on 2s.
on 2s, not just 1s. So I was like, I'm not gonna risk it right now. Maybe once they're low and I just gotta fucking get some shit done. But that was my first turn. I really didn't do much besides just shoot, and I got in one okay round with the Storm Raven. I'm kind of realizing with the Storm Raven that it's a huge point sink, and I don't know if there's any way for it to gain back like its points. Like the thing I
found is that it's best to run a Storm Raven with 2 Storm Talons,
and that's the problem. I can't take Storm Talons. I can only take a gunship. The only way I can probably, if I wanted to do like a little flyer detachment type thing, was I'd have to take in my 2 Nephilim jet fighters and that,
which are expensive.
Those are like 200 points or just below.
Damn.
So we're talking about somewhere in the ballpark of about 700 points.
Just
700 points.
Just for air support.
Just for air support. Now, granted, like
that'd be cool.
It'd be cool, and it's great, like in the types of games that we were playing, just for fun, not like really anything. But I know now in a competitive level, the Storm Raven isn't gonna cut it. Like it's because it's 360 points, something like that, and it's a lot of points to be sinking into something that can only take 12. It's a 12 capacity and you can take a Dreadnought if you want. That's pretty rough. I could probably just take a fucking if I wanted to do that, and I wanted to like place my Dreadnought somewhere. Everybody now has access to the Forge World stuff. I can just take a Dreadnought drop pod, and it's 100 points. So I can just take that and put my thing in there, my thing. My Dreadnought in there, and I can drop it in wherever I want. And then the Terminators, they deep strike, and it doesn't really matter because they have storm shields. If I take them in a bigger group, they'd probably be even like a bigger force to be reckoned with. But that was my first turn. I remember in the first turn for you, there wasn't much you could do.
There was really much I could do.
Because it was so foot sloggy.
Yeah. So basically, I could just only move up, and even in my deployment, most of my custodes were kind of spread out because I wasn't exactly sure where he was going to put everything. So I guess as soon as he saw me put it off to one side, he's like, all right, I'll put it on the other corner. So they had a good half of them had to slog that way.
Yeah.
The jet bikes are the ones that kind of had to do some of that work. They're the ones that kind of, they shot up your Storm Raven and then charged in to just get that out of the way. Because I was like, either I go after the bikes or I go after the Storm Raven. And the Storm Raven's been throwing out more shots than I would like.
Yeah, more DACA.
Yeah. Both of them were big primary targets. And I was like, I was like, let me get rid of this guy, and at least he'll blow up and wherever he's trying to get his guys at. Maybe I could stop that. And then I blew him up.
Yeah. So the Stormraven gunship blew up without really taking out much of anything. Took a few wounds off of the banner. Um,
You killed him.
no,
You killed him second round.
I'll explain how I killed him second
that's
round. But yeah, he blew it up, and I was like, all right, I kind of already thought it was going to. I just didn't understand that the Custodes jet bikes have hurricane bolters, so they get 12 shots each, and 12 times 4 is 48 shots. There was no way in hell it was ever not going to take a fuckload of wounds. So I was like, okay, I understand that. But did I, at the end of the game, I think I made the right decision. I just didn't. I made the right decision in terms of that. I just didn't make the right decision in other areas. But second turn comes around, and guess who fucking walks in? Fucking ba-boom, ba-boom. Drop pods just come on in.
Right in my back line.
Right in the back line. And I specifically, he was like setting up all this stuff to protect his banner up front. And I was like, you fucking fell right into the trap, baby. So when second turn comes, I was like, all right, boom, fucking put down that bitch. My tech squad's fucking muscle out of there. They fucking just like Kool-Aid Man out of the fucking doors. And they just shot up the standard. And
that's right. Standard TAC Marines took down the banner.
That's right, baby. TAC Marines, the new meta.
After he shrugged off fucking biker shots and a Storm Raven, homeboy with a plasma. No, your sergeant blew himself up.
Yeah. No, that was later. Later. But yeah, I think it was the plasma gunner that actually took him out. Yeah. So I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that plasma and psychic are not friendly to Custodes at all.
Yeah. And I was like, honestly, when I was making up the thing, I was like, should I, like, instead run librarians? Because I have a whole bunch of librarians, like Terminator and all that kind of stuff. So it would fit in the narrative. But I was kind of like, nah, I just want to fucking play my 2 named characters and just have them go all around. But yeah, that was second turn. I was able to take him out. I was able to take some pot shots at some other folks. Once the Storm Raven was gone, that meant everybody else dropped down, and they wiped out his bike squad. They wiped out that bike squad with just Belial with Thunderhammer.
Belial, the Terminators, and the Dreadnought. They were wrecking shit.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, when they dropped so close to your dudes,
bikers.
To the bikers, that it was literally just like a 2-inch charge for each one of them. I was like, I rode so high that I can like maneuver everybody in, so everybody was getting their attacks in.
I thought they were going to be able to shrug at least something off. At least I thought one guy was going to go,
yeah,
because he already was down to one wound left.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, I'll just shrug this off, and after that, I'll go after the bikers because if they're flying, they can break away easily.
Yeah,
and then I'll just drop Trajan in later. After he took out my banner, I was like, there goes my fucking one shot to do the the teleport thing. You know, six around him, and then 3 inches away from your enemy.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get it close to Roman stuff, just like how I did that with John with his Demon Prince and what was it, the Roombas? What's the Roombas or the drones?
No, it was the drones, the plague drones, or whatever they are.
I just needed the Vexilla just to last that one fucking thing to get to my turn so I could drop everything. But
the thing is, you only had the one Vexilla, and you put the most dangerous thing on the banner, which was the -1 to hit.
Yeah.
In our game, you gave him a +1 attack to your Custodes. I was like, all right, well, you got 15 fucking Custodes. Let them have their 1 attack.
Yeah.
In Roman's game, you made him attack him.
See, and the problem was I put the Vexilla up ahead too, and I was like, well, I'll just get them up ahead, so just in case the bikes need to come up, they get the -1 bubble. But I just didn't wrap them, and then if I would have kept someone behind, at least he would have been safe for at least that one turn. But I forgot about the guys that are going to drop on the back. So,
yeah. Fuck yeah. TAC Marines, baby, the new meta. So, yeah. And one... I want to say that once the Vexilla fell, I was able to have my bikes in assault range for your for the shield captain who was behind, who didn't make the charge in with the Storm Raven, so he was behind. I was like, cool. Now he doesn't have a -1.
I forgot to. I was able to re-roll my charge because I used a command re-roll to get it, and I still didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot that my relic gave him an extra re-roll failed charge.
Yep.
And realized it until later.
Mm-hmm. So you live, you learn.
Exactly.
And then you get loves.
Pampers.
But I was able to take him down with like 4 bikes and Sammy, just shooting at the shield captain. Just, I did everything. Fucking overcharge, because now I wasn't afraid to overcharge, especially with Sammy there. He would let him re-roll all fails, not just ones. And then I had spent the command point earlier for the detachment, for the Ravenwing detachment from the what is it? Vigilus. The first Vigilus book, which I was trying to remember, and then I finally remembered the other one, which was as long as something hits in that unit, everything that has a Ravenwing keyword can have +1 to hit. So now my bikes were hitting on 2s instead of 3s. Right, so I used a command point there. Then I used another command point for Weapons of the Dark Age, and then I overcharged them. So now they're doing 3 damage, hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s, getting to reroll fails. So I was like, all right, cool. They're good. They're gonna take that guy down, and they did. He was able to shrug off a few wounds, but like 9 wounds in the end, he wasn't able to shrug off all of them. So I was able to do that. Took out the bikes, and then it was just now the foot sloggy guys, and I was like, fuck, okay, how am I gonna deal with these guys? Because now everything's in charge range. Like, there was no way to get them out of charge range again. So what do? I was like, well, I have to now accept that Samuel's gonna die. He's just gonna die. That's it. Which he did. Next turn, fucking.
Well, yeah. The next turn, I dropped in Trajan. I dropped in the wardens I had in reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Shot up majority of the bikes, and then it was down to like just Sammy and 1 bike.
Mm-hmm.
A good majority of them charged into Sammy, trying to lock up the other bike behind him, but just couldn't.
Yeah.
Killed Sammy. Trajan was the only one to charge in and get the dreadnought, and I got it down to at least 1 point. This is the one time, because like when I was telling Roman, when I played you, Trajan was like pulling his weight. He was just fucking slaying everything. And this one, he couldn't even take out a dread. Like I said, his dread was just shrugging off everything. Like all the... What are we talking about? Oh, how Trajan wasn't pulling his weight?
Yeah.
Trajan wasn't pulling his weight because I just couldn't get it, because homeboy here was... The dreadnought was just shrugging off all the wounds that day, but I was able to get him with the fucking shanky stick.
Yeah.
Only time, that was the first time that's ever worked.
Yeah.
They never hit. They never, like, they hit, but they don't do any damage.
Yeah.
Like, it's pointless to take them.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened. Yeah, my turn, I was able to wipe out the things that I wanted to, but the Terminators, Belial, and that Dreadnought.
Mm-hmm.
They were the ones that were giving me the biggest trouble.
Yeah, and the thing with that was that you were trying to charge in with the Wardens and Trajan, and the Wardens didn't make it in.
They didn't make it in.
So only Trajan, like a boss, fucking rolled boxcars or something and fucking made it in. And then my Dreadnought was able to weather the storm, attack back, and because of Belial was able to do the heroic intervention because of 3 inches. And I was like, all right, cool. So I was able to get in some damage that way, so that when my turn came around, I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. But what else? In your turn, you were able to take out.
That was kind of it. I was able to
Sammy.
I was able to take out majority of the bikes and Sammy.
Yeah.
But there was 1 biker left.
Yeah.
Since you killed the shield captain, I did the warlord change where I gave it to my other shield captain, just gave him the -1 to hit, because I was like, at first I was going to give him where 12 inches everyone gets to heroically intervene, but I was like, I know he's going to probably want to just try to get the warlord, so
Yeah.
considering how bad luck I'm getting, I just might as well just keep that -1 to hit.
But around that time, Like after that, a few things started to started to like go to turn into his favor. Like during my turn 3, I was able to then move my knights, my Deathwing knights in around, so they can just attack. Everything can attack Trajan because I wanted him out, as I knew he was gonna fuck face. So I shot a few things again, few pot shots, nothing major. Then when that assault happened, I attacked with my Deathwing Knights. It brought him down a few wounds, a couple of wounds, but I knew that at that point I had to go first, or Trajan was just going to kill Belial. Like he was just going to do that. So what I did was I burned 2 command points just so I can make sure that I can swing in. Like I can break the, what is it, the flow of combat or whatever the fuck it's called. Because in that stratagem it says, you know, you can just break combat. It doesn't matter whether or not you're already going. It's just that you can go first. So I was like, okay, I'll just use this so Belial can attack. I just want him to attack because with Thunderhammer, there's only so much you can do. 4 attacks, times 2 at a -1 to hit, which is 3s for him because he's weapon skill 2. Then 4 attacks, strength 8, -3 AP, 3 damage each. So I was like, all right, cool. And that's what was able to take him out. So then after that, that was like the big thing for that turn. And then from there, it all just started kind of flowing downwards. Because I know it was just, like Sammy had gone, my bikes had gone, my scouts were just stuck in one place like they usually are because I could see everything at that point. And then everything that was foot slogging was just making its way, just slowly but surely. And my only big threat was the, the Dreadnought, everything that was in the Storm Raven. So after that, it started to, that's when the tide began to shift, and I was like, fuck, if I lose any of these guys, like I'm done. Like I don't know if I could win. And that's eventually what happened. In turn 3, I know you were able to take out some of my knights.
I took out a couple. I took out a couple knights, because I got those wardens that were by Trajan finally in. Took out 2 of the knights. I sent out some guards to go take out some scouts, which I took a picture of, which was fun. But they didn't get there until the next turn after.
Oh.
And slowly it was just everyone just making their way towards the Belial and the Knights and the Dreadnought while just taking pot shots at the attack Marines.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. I was waiting for, because the one thing I was waiting for Trajan, I thought I would be able to weather through Belial and the Dreadnought. So he has a thing where after he attacks, during my attack, I can use 3 options. I can either regain life from him. Once per battle, I can either regain D3 life, or I can regain command points that I used.
Okay.
Or the third option, which I used against John, was after you're done attacking, you could attack again. Like you consolidate in, and then you could attack again. So I could attack twice, which I didn't get to do.
So I knew there was a reason why I didn't want that guy alive. Didn't know it was nasty. I just knew I wanted him dead. He was trying to get my secrets. But yeah, he was able to take out a few knights there, and that's when it started to crumble because I lost some of my swinging power. 4th turn, I was able to take out those wardens that were there, and
took out the other wardens.
Oh yeah, I was able to take out two wardens, and that was about it. And then I knew that his dude was coming in. And then on your turn, I believe, turn 4, where I ended up calling it, was you ended up killing...
You took out the guards. I had 2 wardens left and a shield captain and some other 3 guards that were...
Yeah.
They finished mopping up the attack Marines and they decided to go in and swing at the at the drop pod.
Yeah, that's right. I got line breaker because of those 2 drop pods.
Yeah, I decided to go take a swing at drop pods, which I missed 3 attacks, and we came to the conclusion that drop pods have a 3-up save.
Mm-hmm.
They have a 3-up save, and I was telling him, I was like, "Wow, that's amazing," because custodes have they have those jetpack dudes, and I was like, and they have a 3-up save. So you're telling me that a big hunk of metal has the same dodging power as very elite guards with jetpacks on them. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes fucking sense.
What happens is that we were talking to Trent about it. When they hit the ground, they basically explode. So try finding pieces of this fucking bitch to hit. That was the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, in your turn, I was just hoping that Belial could like withstand one swing, because I knew if I can get to turn 5, if Belial could make it to turn 5, I now have a fighting chance. I can now I can mop up those wardens, and I can mop up his warlord. And I was like, okay, that'll put me far enough in the lead that it's gonna be hard for him to come back. So I was like, that's what I need. That's what I fucking need. Come on, Belial, you gotta because of your storm shield, you got 3-up invuls. You got this. He fucking fails like it's like 5 attacks go through. He fails 2 of them. He's chunked down from 6 to 2.
Well, it's because that shield captain went after the last 2 Terminators.
Yeah.
Has 5 attacks. Was able to get those guys out. I was able to consolidate in to Belial. I didn't get hurt. I got to get to attack again, and with 5 attacks, minus 3 AP.
Yeah.
D3 damage. Yeah.
Yeah. The D3 damage is like kills me. So I was like, fuck. I hope he rolls all ones, because this is the only way it's gonna happen. But he went down, so you got Warlord. At that point, I just decided to call it, because at that point, I had nothing. Like, I had 1 group of tech squads that was severely neutered, and 2 drop pods, one which was on the verge of dying. So, at that point, I called it, and we had it at 10-6. So, Custodes won, and because of that, we had decided beforehand that Mark wasn't a Red Star member officially, so this was his Red Star game, so he's now an official member. He's getting his shirt in, hopefully in the next week.
That's me.
So yeah, that was the game. Now you've played me and John.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask this question: Who was the better player?
Better player?
Who was the one that had like more sound tactics? Because you know we played 2 completely different armies.
John's army was really hard to hit. Like, no matter, the only reason why I took the +1 attack, because I knew Death Guard were durable, but I didn't know how durable Death Guard were. And it was just basically swinging around. And if it wasn't me just playing the straight up mission, I probably wouldn't have taken that game.
Mm-hmm.
Or with the surprises. You took out my big guys before I could do anything. I'm gonna have to rank both of y'all the same.
That's a cop out, you bitch! How dare you? I want
that's
to
why,
know.
and that's why I was trying to get a 3-way gangbanger here.
Gangbang.
Yeah, I was excited. I told my girlfriend, I was like, "Man, John and Roman are both gonna take me on, and I'm gonna take on them. It's gonna be great." And now I'm wondering why my pieces are now smashed. But then John said no.
Yeah, John's a bitch. Had to work, make money,
Sorry.
be responsible, whatever.
Couldn't even play plastic men with us.
So yeah, but yeah, it was a cool game. It was a fun game for 40K, which you had been bringing this up that I had been like fucking hating on 40K, so long. And I didn't want to, but I guess it was just like the natural kind of like the apathy towards it. I finally have decided that fuck what's good. I'm just gonna fucking play what I want to play. The rule of cool. Just I want to have fun with it.
Yeah. The rule of cool we should take over.
Yeah.
You said before, like, you like playing the lore, you like playing fluff-wise, you like playing narrative, and I get that. I understand that. I like that idea. But I always think the rule of cool should always apply too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think somewhere along the way for 40K, I lost that. I lost like, I gotta be more competitive. I gotta be like, I gotta give people a good game. And the thing is, I think I can give a person a good game because I have a pretty good grasp on my army
Mm-hmm.
and what it's supposed to do. But that's I think I got so much in the hole of like I need command points, so I need cheap, effective units that, and now I gotta load up on the good shit. Like I got into that mindset, which is terrible. Like I don't like it. I had so much fun playing Tech Marines again, just regular old fucking Tech Marines. Even though like in most cases they're shit, like they're not gonna do much of anything. But the fact that I have like that versatility where I'm like, you know what, I now have a plasma cannon here. I can shoot off a plasma cannon once, you know, or like if I wanted to, I can use a grav cannon, a melta gun, anything. I can use any of that. I just need to have the fucking shit, which I do because I have such a fucking large army for that. And the thing is, like, I found out that drop pods are pretty good. That it's just the way in what you're trying to deliver. You know that what you're trying to deliver is gonna die as soon as it drops, but you have one turn to do as much damage as you can with it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I figure like the best way I can do that in 40K is probably do like a Devastator squad of any kind. I could probably have like 4 plasma cannons. That would be fluffy and cool. You know, just fucking have D3 shots times 4.
Yeah.
Fucking use weapons of the Dark Age. Fucking overcharge them. If they blow up, they blow up. Who gives a fuck? They're just gonna shoot and they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But like in terms of like if I wanted to do that a little more seriously, maybe have some las cannons because you know las cannons -3 AP. They're going to get through a whole bunch of shit without any real drawbacks. So like it's little things like that where like I know what I should do or like what I could do that would be really cool. Just somewhere along the way I just kind of forgot about that. So I'm glad that I had a fun game and that if somebody says you want to play 40K, it's not going to be a begrudging yes. It's just going to be like, yeah, let's fucking do it. I have so much shit I can take. And yeah, so I'm sorry that I badmouthed 40K for so long, but I like it, and the fact that I can do some kit bashing and do some models of shit that I like, I'll probably do that. I probably, in all honesty, will not use Primaris. I will use the Hellblasters because I know they're good, and if I really want to, like, if somebody's saying that they're gonna bring a more competitive list, yeah, then I'll add Hellblasters.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like the only case. I really won't use a lot of that. Even like the Redemptor Dreadnought, I painted that up recently. Oh, I forgot to say that. In Hobby Progress is I was able to kind of make sure that my Dreadnought had a whole bunch of green on it. So I was like, all right, cool. But we wanted to talk about a few things. Turns out this episode is going a little bit longer than we expected, but I do want to cover one thing. And it's one thing that that Mark said I had a lot of passion when I spoke about it.
You too, John.
Yeah. It's the fucking Heresy book reviews. We did all 3 that one time, the first 3, and we never went back to it. So I just want to talk about that one. The next one is book 4. It is Fly Eisenstein. It is written by James Swallow, I believe, and it is before Istvan 3, and then it bleeds into Istvan 3. This focuses around the Death Guard, so it's the first time that we actually see the Death Guard.
It's the first time we see Plague Marines.
It's the first time we see Plague Marines.
Yeah.
And it's fucking, I mean, it's one of my favorite books, in all honesty. Garo's just such a badass. I love the scene of him in the Coral City and all that kind of stuff where the screamers and all that shit.
I like how all that bleeds in together. Like
Yeah.
if you read all the other books, it's like when, who was it? Was it Loken when he was going after the screamer?
No,
No.
it was Eidolon.
Oh, that's right. When
Yeah.
Eidolon went on there and saw,
And he's the one that screams back at him.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Garrow's just on the fucking floor and shit.
Yeah, he's like, his legs broken, his arms
Yeah.
broken. He's just like, what did I just see? And then he passes out. And then when he wakes up, he's just like, what the fuck? Like, did I see that right? It's just it's a really cool scene.
I love one of my favorite things is when Eidolon's going in for the surgery.
Mhm.
When he's like, all right, let's do this.
Mhm.
And then he like starts freaking out, like, "What the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Get me out of this fucking chair!" And Fabius is like, "Too late, bitch. You already signed up. You're mine."
You done fucked up, Aaron.
You done goofed.
You done fucked up, Eidolon.
I thought that was a weird thing when they brought Saul into it. It's just like, Eidolon's like, I know I don't like you, but come over here and check this out.
Yeah.
And he's looking around. And he's like, this is kind of weird. And then Fabius is there, and they're like, you're down with this, right?
Well, I mean, it seems weird until you just think about it just a little longer. They already knew that Saul was never going to turn, so they were going to send him down anyway. It didn't matter. At a certain point, they were just going to send him down because if you remember correctly, they did the first one and they were like, okay, everybody's going down. But the second one, everybody was going to drop. He was supposed to be on that first drop. He didn't. He talked to the ancient Rylanor, who's the Dreadnought.
Yeah, he told
the
him to
switch
sides.
And he's just like, don't worry, I'll take your place. And then
that was cool. That's cool.
But that's in Galaxy in Flames.
Yeah.
In Fly the Eisenstein, you get more of Garo's side of that exchange.
His friend. That's when his friend goes down, right?
Yes.
The second captain, third captain.
I don't remember.
I know one of them goes in,
yeah.
And then it's like him with that scene with the other Dreadnought. Mm-hmm. He's like, just go in, I got this.
Yeah.
Like, he lied to me, and they both just fucking get utterly destroyed by the virus.
They get dunked on.
And that's a cool thing because you already have everything mapped up in your head. Mm-hmm. You're like, shit, they're like right here in the trench, and right there is where the big Titan's at right now. Mm-hmm. And you know that's where that one dude, the one dude and the one religious guy, they're having their fucking fight in there. And he's like, why are we going to shoot on them? Yeah. It's like, oh, man, this is in my head.
Yeah, all that's in your head. And that's what, like, that's what the Flight of Eisenstein does so well, is that it just adds on to Esteban 3. Mm-hmm. Because you have the whole picture already. You know what happens at Esteban 3. But now you're starting to get it from, like, a different angle from somebody else that was off-planet. And just seeing, like, the destruction. Like, they describe even the destruction of the planet and be like, how could anybody survive this kind of thing? I love the scene with him and Saul, because you saw that in Galaxy in Flames, and then you saw Garo's version of it, where he's just so untrustworthy. He's just like, I don't think I should do this. But he believes Saul because, you know, they're battle brothers, and everybody fucking loves Saul.
Yeah, Saul Tarvis
Saul Tarvis is the reason there's even a fucking
key player here.
There was even, like, Loken is still alive, spoilers. And the Solar Wars.
It also had one of the best scenes with Dorn bitch slapping.
Oh, Garo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's like Horus turned against the Emperor. He just fucking backhands him. He's like, don't ever talk about my brother like that.
Oh man, the raging. I'm a big Dorn fan too.
The boner
just having that. Yeah.
He's all like, I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I wasn't trying to kill you.
I was at work when I hit that part where Garo's just like, oh fuck this fucking ship. Like, we're just gonna have to, whoever comes in, we're gonna fucking blast him up. And I remember I had to load some pallets into a truck, so I'm trying to pay attention to loading pallets while trying to listen to the scene where Garo's like, he's like, I don't care who fucking comes through that. And fucking Rogel Dorn comes on. And he's like, you're on my fucking ship. Like, you don't just come up here and demand things. Like, all right, can I come on your ship, Captain? He's like, I guess.
You're already here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that part because, like, Garo's fucking almost broken. It's just like, he could have killed me, but he didn't. Mm-hmm. So there's something here. And yeah, that whole that scene is really cool. There's so much, like, cool things in there. There's the actual the way the Plague Marines come about when you see the who is it? It's just one of the dudes, right, from Death Guard, and he's just infected, and they have him, like, in that cryo tank where he's just like, kill me or whatever the fuck, he just wants to die. And then eventually, like, he gives in to Nurgle, and then he, like, starts growing.
Oh, that's later. That's late. Yeah, when he gets one of those. It's one of the guys who's. It's one of the new Marines, right?
Yeah, the guy with the power fist,
the youngest one, where he has, like, a lot of fucking shit, and he's questioning Garo, like, each time, like, why didn't you fucking just tell us? Like, why do you keep us in the dark? And he starts, like, everything starts wavering. Mm-hmm. He gets hit, and so the whole book he's just in there. Yeah. And that's when he finally gives up. Fun fact, what was it? I think the apothecary, the one's like, I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to dedicate my whole life to cure this. I hear later in the Solar Wars, this is a big spoiler. I don't know if I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you. In the Solar Wars, he becomes that monster. He gets possessed by that monster and becomes him.
Fair enough. This like starts off like, because the Death Guard, for some reason, this is like the first mention really of the Death Guard where you get a good chunk of what they do, and then you don't get it for a very, very long time. I think there's a few little short stories here and there in some of the compilation books. Then there's the there's another one where like Mortarion just ends up killing like his whole fucking Death Shroud bodyguard. He just fucking destroys him for this demon, just because he wants to see the demon. And I was like, what the fuck? This happened quick, where he was just fucking like, yeah, I'll just fucking believe all this bullshit. I'll just become a sorcerer like I never wanted to be. Fucking prick. But it also has the reason why that young Space Marine gets infected is because the Life Eater virus gets like opened up in the containment, like in the like I guess the bombardment sector of the plane.
Oh, that's right. They were loading him to the docking.
Yeah, they were loading it up, and then
and Garo's servant's the one that kind of like
and then they just fucking break it up and they start breaking shit up, and then eventually like the shit leaks out, it starts eating away at people, and Garo sees this, and he sees like one of his best friends being like, just fucking lock it and open up the airlock, just shoot us off into space, because if any of this gets through, everybody on the ship's fucked. And he's just like, I don't want to do it, but I gotta do it. So he just fucking opens up the airlock, and they all get sucked out as little gelatinous fucking cubes. But yeah, there's so much fucking cool shit in that book that it is by far like one of my favorite, but also one of the essentials to read for that book. Like the 3, it's a very good follow up to the 3, because the 3 you have to read. Like that's the original trilogy. It all makes up one story, the Fall of Horus, and then this is the next evolution of that, and it's on par with
it starts before. And it starts up at the end of that, the whole Malkador.
Yes.
I'm gonna start you on this new thing. So it's basically like the Knights Errant thing.
Yeah. It starts up the Garo's first quest into the.
Doesn't he kind of question? He's like, it seems like you're getting a little into this religion with that. I hate that Euphrates Keeler chick, but the saint, and he's like, why? Like, I guess he's okay with it. I find it weird that Garo is just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna get into this religion now.
I don't know if he's like necessarily into the religion at that point. He just is now starting to understand that like there's a lot of things
I don't understand
that I don't understand, but they're supposed to be things that I taught didn't exist. So now what is going on? Like now he's just in a crisis of faith. I think Malkador is the one that says to him like, look, yeah, there's shit out there, and you're gonna be the one to clean it up for us. Like you're one of the only ones that have experienced this firsthand, because he's the one that like experiences the first fucking Plague Marine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He experiences like that change, that possession. So he's like, oh fuck. Okay, so he now is one of the very few that has seen it, like in general, because there's not many that have in those books. At that point, no one's really seen it. You could say the Word Bearers, because they were turning traitor for 50 years before the heresy. And then you could say that, you know, Horus and Loken and them, Euphrates and Cinder Kirillman, they saw it because they saw something possess, what's his name? Not Sejanus. Sejanus was the one they replaced. Whoever they fucking replaced on the...
Samus is here.
That Samus possessed the dude. So, like, there's very few people that have actually seen or experienced demons.
And when they do, they're all fucked up.
Yeah.
Everyone's always thinking about it and
exactly.
worried about it.
And Garo's one of the only ones that's just like, I've seen that. What does that mean? But it's not going to stop me from what I have to do. So he's, like, one of the only, like, true strong ones. I think it's just because, like, they gave him a mission, and now he has to see that mission through.
Yeah.
That's what sets him apart from a lot of other Space Marines, is that they have this kind of crisis once they've experienced that kind of trauma, like meeting a demon or whatever. And he's one of the few that's like, I met it. What the fuck am I gonna do about it? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Boom, let's go.
I don't know if Mark knows this, but Garo, everything he's doing there, starting the Knights Errant and everything, that's the intro to the Grey Knights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just weird because I think it's like they're trying to find out who trains the psychic ones because Garo doesn't have any latent psychic powers.
No.
So it's weird. Like they're heavy psychic people, and he gets like, I know he picks up one of the Imperial Fist guys, a librarian from the Imperial Fist. He gets like Loken in there.
Yeah,
It's
a dude from the Ultramarines.
The guy from the Ultramarines.
Yeah, it's during the Battle of Calth, he's able to get like a space librarian to use his powers, and that in turns like his unit that he's with to shun him away because they're like, you fucking used your powers, you piece of shit. So they turned their back on him. He's like, is this what you wanted? Is this what you fucking want? You wanted me to be an outcast, just like you? And he's just like, we have a bigger purpose. I'll show you. And that's when he picks him up. And then they eventually, somewhere along the way, they never really explained it. They pick up some fucking World Eater. Like just some random ass World Eater. I don't know where they fucking picked him up.
I don't know if that's from the Black Shield because I was listening to one of the Black Shields where it's a World Eater and Malkador keeps coming back to him like, hey, I know you're not loyal to Angron, but hey, well, I got a job for you if you want to do it. And the world, I forget what the World Eater's name is, and he's like, nah, fuck that. He's like,
it's not the guy from the ship, is it? Where that one World Eater, those couple of
they go to like a little outcast, a little thing, and it's like another World Eater there, and he's tampering with a whole bunch of people's DNA and shit like that, trying to make the ultimate warrior for Angron, and he can't let go that Angron just let him off to die. Is that the same one we were talking about? Or?
The one I'm talking about is it was that where they were on the Word Bearer ship.
No,
that small band of mismatched Space Marines.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. The one where they're like, they're trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with the ship.
Yeah.
Because it's like all demon formed. They're like, how the fuck do they use this? So I do remember that.
That's probably them.
Yeah. But yeah, they, for some reason, like because the Garo story like ends up being audio dramas, until he gets his own book, Garo. That's a dedicated heresy thing, and apparently, like he plays a really really big part in the last heresy book, the Barry Dagger. It's all about Death Guard and Mortarion, and it's their actual fall into Nurgle. So apparently there's like a whole, like half of the book is basically Garo, and spoilers, 3, 2, 1. Apparently in that they find Titan, like they actually find the planet Titan. So the Grey Knights' homeworld. That's the thing is like everybody's wanting to know what happens to Garo in the Heresy.
Yeah.
His story really it started in the Heresy, but it's not a heresy. It's not a heresy story. It's supposed to be the Scouring. It's supposed to be after the whole heresy. So it's supposed to be between 30 and 40K. Somewhere, I'm assuming like the 34th millennium or whatever the fuck they call it. And
there was a lot of speculation that Omegon was actually one of the founding members of the Grey Knights also, because they were still loyal to the Emperor at the point, even though they were on Horus's side. They were there in the beginning because they had to be, not because they wanted to be. So Alfarius Omegon, because they're one person in two bodies, Omegon went and started the whole.
I think it was that one, or I heard. I think two other ones was Janus, one of the Blood Ravens. Basically, had like a Magnus shard in him. I thought that he was the Grandmaster. Or
they said that
Scimitar from
that
the Night Lords, maybe.
Omegon was Janus. That Janus
there we go.
Never existed. It was Omegon using alias.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one was a Scimitar from the Night Lords, maybe.
Yeah, and then like because Janus in mythology was the two-faced god, so that's why they were like, oh, it's Alfarius Omegon.
That makes sense.
There you go. I didn't know that because I don't know anything. There's not a lot of mythology I know. But yeah, that's Fly the Einstein. Go ahead and check it out if you haven't. I suggest going on Audible.
There's one part I forgot. I messaged you guys when I was listening to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a part where the communication guy betrays them and tells Typhus like, "Hey, they're trying to fuck up shit."
Yeah.
And then they're just like, "What the fuck happened?" They found out that it was him, and the little dude is I don't know why. There's a part where Garo's like, I guess he picks him up. And he's like, "I'm doing what I believe is right." And Garo's just like, all right. He's like, yeah, you believe what's right. That's what fucking gets you killed. Or he says something.
Yeah.
I forget what the line was. Where it sounded too fucking cool. And then he, like, kills I guess he fucking shoots him in the head or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, how are you not in that room? Fucking already dropping on your knees. And not trying to suck off Garo. After he gives, like, a fucking baller one-liner before fucking capping.
I don't care what's in his pants. It's going in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking, you're Dumble dead. Fucking shoots him.
Then I just, what? You're gonna go after that because it said Dumble dead?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What are you doing? Nothing.
That's why you're fucking loser. Well, I'm a winner. I got Garo dick in me. But that is it for Perils of the Warp this week. I've been your host, Roman, and I'm here with
John.
And
I drank all my Coke.
damn.
Did we even say the number to the episode?
Yeah, it was 38. I said it at the beginning.
Okay.
I think I did.
I don't think you did.
This is episode number 38 of the Perils of the Warp.
Email us. Whatever. Bye.
Yeah, we had some comments, but one of them was from somebody that's right here.
Yeah.
So, and the other one was from my nephew. He said, yo. So, I don't know why he's listening to this, but I'm glad you do, even if you don't really know what we're talking about with Warhammer. But thanks, buddy. Other than that, if you do want to comment in the video below or email citypod88@gmail.com and the subject line 40K so we know it's for here. But we are signing off, and we'll see you in space, cowboy.
And the warp.